Hi, this is OG Star Wars, Alora Baga, and I am going to just break down the review of the new trailer that came out for The Rise of Skywalker and want to give my own take and feel about it, maybe compare and contrast to the original EU. And so, yeah, let's get this going. So here we go. Here's the trailer. Let's get it started. I'm going to pause, talk about it, and then go on.
It's an instinct.
Looks like I'm having a little bit of technical difficulty, so I'm going to stop here, let it buffer a little bit more. But we get the scene of Rey running, and of course it's in a forested place, and there are rumors they're on Endor in the beginning as well. Another thing I heard is that she is training on a different forest type planet, and part of the speculations was that Leia was training her, and also that was also said to have been rescinded or taken away in that plot. Another thing is that from one of the other previous teaser trailers, she is swinging the lightsaber and cuts the tree down or in half. And from that, I have heard it speculated that she was using anger as part of her training, which is not quite Jedi ish of her. So let's go ahead and get this going.
The Force brought us together. We're not.
So we get here with Finn speaking here about how the Force has brought them together. And, you know, we know that's in the lore. We know that the Force has its purpose, has its ways. But how do you think Finn is Force sensitive? Are we going to get any conclusions to that for him handling the lightsaber the way he did in the trilogy? So we shall see.
Good people will fight if we lead them. People keep telling me they know me.
All right, so we're getting to this part here, and this drives me crazy. We're getting into the Endor scene, the actual Endor scene. Yes, there is water on Endor. It is a moon, an inhabited moon, or habitable moon. I don't know if I said that right. Excuse me. But let's go ahead and break this down. First, Rey says, people think they know me. I'm paraphrasing. You can rewind it and hear it for yourself. And my take on that is, through the whole trilogy, we do not know her. We do not know her arc. We don't know who she is. She's a very bland character. No interest in her, but she's good at everything. And so she also doesn't know who she is. So yeah, so there's some truth to that kind of irony going on there. And do I want to continue to know? Probably not.
No one does.
There you go. No one does.
I do.
So we have Kylo walking in, and he says, but I do. So is there any kind of reveal? Maybe, maybe not. There are speculations. I've seen a lot of speculations on how they could be twins, but then that would break their own continuity within their whole entire new lore that they're building, which drives me nuts. That's why I love the original EU, because it has great continuity. So he says, but I do. And like, I'm going back to that speculation of how I've seen other YouTube video saying that they are twins. However, when you read Bloodline, not Bloodlines, but Bloodline, with Leia in the new EU, the new time frame, or the new Star Wars, whatever you want to call it, he they're saying that, or it's revealed or speculated that they are twins. But again, in that novel, it only speaks of her being pregnant with him and her pregnancy with just him. So I don't see how they could be twins, because when I'm a woman, if I'm having twins, I've only had like three kids, but all separate. So if I had twins, I would be making a huge deal of that. And so, and it's something special in Star Wars, as we know we got the Skywalker twins. Okay, so another thing is that there's cousins, which that's what the Force Awakens led to, was that she was more of from Luke. But that's kind of hopeless in its own self right now as well. And so I doubt that as well. And then we are also now seeing also, is she really Palpatine's? And I've read a spoiler of speculations that it's hinting that she is, and that at first she shouldn't be trained because of who she is. And I can't see her being a Skywalker descendant. If, and that being said, I can see it more being said as a Palpatine, but who knows? All right. This bugged me, this dang thing. Okay, so it looks like it's in space. However, we've seen in the other trailer that the TIE fighters are flying close to the ground. And so if this is, and the way you see like a star or a sun shining down on it in this area, that gives more, way more to space right here. And it looks like maybe a station in this area here, who knows? But I think it's very off-putting. But you know, we're talking about fantasy, but it just, to me, that just does not seem right. Just my personal nitpick. All right, so here we go. Now here is this throne here, and the way it looks like it's made of stone. And I had heard people joke around about it being the Game of Thrones throne rehashed. I think that's funny. I never got into that show. A bunch of my friends did. And hi, I didn't realize I am live streaming. I thought I was just pre-recorded. Oh, that's okay. So let's get going. I am now using this program here. And so, hi, hello. Yeah, it looks like an iceberg in water, but then let me go ahead and rewind it a little bit. Let's point this out. If it is an iceberg in water, look at this right here. The reflection does not mirror itself. We have a smooth line here, and then we're coming down here. There's no smooth line. We have all this here, but that does not copy that. No, I did not. This is my very first time using this program. So, ta-da, here I am. You know, I don't mind candid crap, you know, candid moments. That's fine. It's real, you know, we're human. All right. So as I pointed out, if this is water, they need to hire a new concept artist and CGI artist, because the reflection does not match. I think it's funnier than hell. And as an artist, that bugs the hell out of me, you know, especially if it's still water, though, if the water is very still. Yeah. So that bugs the hell out of me. Now, if the water was rippling and stuff, you would still see an inkling of it being consistent with the mirroring image. So I don't know. Okay, so let's go back to the throne. Oof. Oh, there we go. All right. This is funny. All right. So here we go with the throne room and or the throne. And it looks like it's carved out of stone. And I've seen people speculate that it came off, and I did too, that it came off of the Death Star, fractured Death Star. Yeah, you're right. There are no TIE reflections. So yeah, so it's a little bit off-putting, but like I said, it's Star Wars, it's a fantasy. So iceberg in space, maybe, I don't know. I mean, it's in a vacuum, but you would think, I don't know. I'm okay. So let's go back to this because I'm at a loss of words for that. All right. So here, if you look closely at this here, it looks like it's carved in stone. So it looks like it was already made. It doesn't look like it came from the wreckage of the Death Star. So it doesn't look like the original throne room and the original Palpatine's original throne. So that is kind of interesting, and I don't know, kind of not Palpatine-ish with these spikes here. I just don't see that being his style, but that's just me. Yeah, it's a Spaceberg, and I seen that, and I was cracking up too as well. I went ahead and watched a few reviews, and I have my own my own take on this stuff. So yeah, so Spaceberg. So, and it's going to be, if I do see this, I probably won't see it, but I'm just interested on like what exactly is there. Is that a base? Is that a base? And where is that located in the Star Wars lore? All right, so back to the throne room. So look, it looks all carved. It doesn't look very Palpatine-ish. Okay, so he says, "Long have I waited." So this is a phrase that I wanted to touch up a little bit more on. So let's go ahead and continue. Now you're coming together. And this is the rehashed line from the original OT. Is your undoing. So they're trying to find a way to tie all this into the original EU, or not the original EU, but the original OT, the original 6 movies. And so here we go. Is your undoing. So if you go back into the movies and stuff, he does say something similar to that. And I wish I could exactly. Oh, it was when, it was in Return of the Jedi. And when you look at this, you will see a lot of similarities again. So this is a soft reboot. And so he tells Luke that his friends is basically his undoing. And so that's his phrase. And so they're putting that in there. So was he waiting? Are they suggesting he was waiting for Kylo and Rey to get together? Or are the resistance to form to come out and fight him on the Death Star? I don't know. And it's just something to look into further. And I'll look into.
What are you doing there, 3PO?
Taking one last look, sir. At my friends.
Okay, so I think a bunch of us had the same idea and the same thought about that scene. So let's just back it up a little bit more. All right. So we have C-3PO getting worked on, and that was another teaser, spoiler, whatever the hell you want to call him, that he's going to be reprogrammed to be able to read a Sith artifact or instructions, or read something that deals with the Sith, maybe holocron, what have you. And for whatever reason, he, as a protocol droid, can't read it, which I don't know why, because in the EU, even if he couldn't read it, him and R2 teamed up. He's been carving the throne all this time. Yeah, that's why he was so busy not paying attention to what was going on. Yeah, so back to C-3PO. Back to C-3PO. So back in the EU, was it Trusat Bakura? So that was right after Return of the Jedi. He didn't particularly know the CC Rook's language, and so him and R2 recorded it, and they together learn the language so he can interpret. So there is a way. And so this is just maybe a different way to make C-3PO look threatening or change his protocol to fight. I mean, I don't know. I think it's a cheesy way just to destroy his little arc. Now with his friends, I'm looking at my friends and, oh, look at R2. I feel so bad for him because R2 has always stood by Luke's side in the original EU. And there was a few times that he did not fly or was with Luke. And C-3PO always went with Leia. And when you look at their history together, the droids, they came from their parents, Padme and Anakin. Padme R2 and Anakin created C-3PO. And unknowingly, they found their way to the children. Hi, Ryan. How you doing? And I guess I'm live streaming. I didn't know I realized I was live streaming, but I'm breaking down the trailer. So I'm just getting into talking about R2 and C-3PO being passed down unknowingly to the Skywalkers. And then in the EU, like I said, R2 is always with Luke. C-3PO is always with Leia. And we only see a few times that R2 did not go on flight or missions with Luke. And one of the novels or series that that is notable is Darkness Trilogy. And so seeing him, yes, you're right. And that's what I'm getting at. And so so R2, you know, hasn't been with Luke this whole trilogy, and it's heartbreaking. And yes, when you hear R2 or C-3PO saying he's seeing his friends, I kind of find that off-putting as well, because there's no history. Even in the trilogies, there's no history. They just pedaled along or weren't even in the scenes. All right. Now, that was Star Wars, and, you know, rest in peace, Carrie Fisher. This is one of the reasons why I'm not going to go see it as well, is because I just think it's very, I want to say disrespectful, because they reused her image, but she was alive then for Rogue One. But I don't know. It just feels very odd to me. It's very hard to describe. All right. So there's your nostalgic moment. Okay, so let's see what Luke was saying right there, because there was one phrase that when I was watching the video on my own that I wanted to touch up on. Let me rewind that a little bit more. Back to the hug. A hearth. There we go. And I'm buffering. Yay. All right.
It's the destiny of a Jedi.
Okay, so Luke says fear is the destiny, or overcoming fear is the destiny of the Jedi. Let me hear that again. Confronting fear is the destiny of the Jedi. No. If you are well versed into the lore, it is every Jedi has their own destiny. They make their own destiny. And learning how to control fear is just one of the training factors of being a Jedi. It's not a destiny. And so that's right there, right? It's not what makes a Jedi. What makes a Jedi is their own destiny. And when you look at the original EU, Luke's destiny was to be what his father couldn't be and restore the Jedi and create the new Jedi Order, which allowed them to thrive all the way decayed. And yeah, there was trials and tribulations, and there was other factors like the Yuuzhan Vong that they had to fight against, plus, you know, the remnants of the Empire, you know, lost tribes of the Sith, you know, and so that's not a way you become a Jedi, is, you know, basically controlling or overcoming fear or whatever he said.
The destiny of a Jedi.
Yeah. So I don't agree with that. All right, so this is the part I want to look at, and I was really trying to get in close to this helmet here because, you know, we know Palpatine's back, and what this looks like and what I'm getting at, and this is my take on that, is that Palpatine was on some kind of support system, kind of like how Vader was from his burn and his lungs being scorched from the heat. So if that's him, a lot of the rumors are correct about them teaming up. And then also too, she doesn't have a lightsaber. So is this the knife that was said that is like the Mortis or some kind of alchemy knife, Sith alchemy knife to destroy him? So we are getting into more out of lore when it comes to that kind of stuff, maybe. So that's just my take on that. You know, in the EU, Palpatine did come back in clones. That was easier to believe, and it was like within 10 years after Return of the Jedi, and Palpatine wanted to learn how to be immortal, and so he transferred. He had his contingency plan, so he transferred his essence into a body of his, so he can live forever and rule forever. And so that's, to me, not as off-putting. I mean, there's a divide even in Dark Empire when it comes to Palpatine's return. So if they're trying to mirror this, Dagger of Mortis, that's probably what it is. But I also heard it called something else. And I agree, you know, it's kind of sad. I thought that there was going to be a lot of Leia scenes because they brought it out on her birthday. So, yeah. So let's go back to this. Back to here. So she now gets to destroy Palpatine. So everything that Luke tried to accomplish, the redemption of Anakin and Anakin saving Luke, is all just gone because of this. It's like, this is a soft reboot. This is a soft reboot of Return of the Jedi. You know, we are back on Endor, all that. Okay, so we're gonna buffer again. Hello. Okay, so since we're like stopping here, here's this right here. I wish I could get in there a little bit more. And of course, you know, we have the little flare right here, screen flare or whatever it's called, or Ryan Johnson thing here. That's a screen change, so maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. All right, so the ships here were shown in the last trailer, or the last one, and there was a lot of speculations on that too, that Palpatine was hiding his fleet, or had built up a fleet, and this guy was really busy carving his throne. Yeah, I'm gonna tease. Carving his throne and putting together his ships while Snoke was over there trying to be the baddie. So that, to me, does not make sense. Palpatine, I can't see him just sitting back like that without having some kind of role in the universe, in the galaxy, as he did in the prequel trilogy, hiding, you know, through his Sith illusion, or his mask, hiding himself. So. And here we go. So we only have a side profile here, and it looks like Palpatine here sitting on the throne. And then we have Rey. So is this going to be where she gets the reveal of who she is? You know, just mirroring the OT with Luke. You know, Rey was handed everything. You know, and are we going to see her at the end of the movie on Tatooine at the Lars homestead? you know, and then claiming the Skywalker name? Or is she a Palpatine? Who knows?
The Force will be with you.
Always.
Okay, so I'm going to go back to Wikipedia. I go on there all the time. Hey there, entertainment hacker. How you doing? What's up? How are you guys doing today? Oh, nice. Yeah, my 14-year-old put herself to bed. I'm glad for that age. I miss them being that tiny, but then I don't. Let's see here. Let me see what I was going to go back. All right. So many of you may have heard my rant about this, and now it's going to buffer. All right. So they go back to Endor to a big, huge, I mean, that's probably like a third, maybe a little under a fourth of the Death Star that crash landed on Endor. So my rant about this is, and I've pissed off many, many people on this when this was first shown, and I don't care. I'm the kind of person, you know, if we don't agree, that's fine, whatever. But my thing is, how in the hell did something that big crash on Endor while our heroes were celebrating without feeling the impact and having a type of Armageddon event happen on the small moon of Endor? We see the second and even the first Death Star implode. So basically explodes from the inside out because our heroes fly within the Death Star. So implodes into almost like stardust. Yeah, there are fragments that fall down. Exactly. They don't understand physics. George was really good at least making sense with it. I mean, yeah, there were some things where like, okay, space worm, okay. It is what it is. But with this, we see it literally in stardust, and then our heroes see it explode from Endor. And you do see small fire fragments, but when something explodes in such a high impact, the impact on the ground is going to be just as bad. So our heroes would have died from that impact. So that to me, because I'm a nerd like that, is off-putting as well. And when you read through the original EU in the books like Legacy of the Force, and it's one of the last ones in there, I think it's called Revelation. Let me look, because I want to make sure I got the name right. And of course, this book doesn't have. Yeah, so anyways, and Luke is mourning for Mara, and he's on Endor. And Jaina goes down and visits him, and it basically has a description of her resting up against a fragment of the Death Star. And from what I get with that is that the fragment is big, yes, but not impactful big, to where it would cause harm and damage to the moon. And then when you go back and read Truce at Black Hura, Leia is down there nursing her blaster wound, and Han is with her, and they're also helping clean up and burying the dead. So how in the hell can something that big, which is right over the village, hit the ground without impacting them? So, I've pissed off a lot of people about that because, they don't want to hear it, but that's okay. Let me see here. Let me go through here. The Spaceberg again. And then when I see this scene here, along with the Star Destroyers, how in the hell is there going to be a friggin' battle without hitting another ship in your own in your own fleet? How in the hell can you fight with that many ships? So do we have the Star Destroyers on one end, and then the resistance, because these are not the rebels or the Rebel Alliance anymore. This is the resistance, and so this is a cheap knockoff version, and that's how I see this: a cheap knockoff version of Star Wars as we know it. So how in the hell are they going to battle here? You know, one of my favorite space battles I love in the movies is the battle above Coruscant. So I love that. Yeah, there's a lot going on in there, and there's a lot of movement, but it's not as condensed as what we see right here. They have space between each ship, each starfighter. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of movement. There's a lot of space to move around. So, so this right here, and it looks like the Falcon, it doesn't, well, I wouldn't say the Falcon's up front because we have a ship right here and some down here. And, you know, we have every single ship that looks like could have been in Star Wars at one time in the movies, and including the stupid bombers. Yeah, so we have all that here. And, you know, even ships from the Clone Wars I'm seeing and everything. But how in the hell do you fight with that many ships that close together? And I know it's, you know, there's really no up or down, it's space, what have you, but still, you still need that room to maneuver. And we know the Falcon is great at maneuvering if they have the space and stuff. So I don't know. That's just my nitpick. I'm just pointing out some things now. And then our heroes on the Falcon here. And these two looking at each other like as if he has a life debt to her. I don't understand that relationship because basically she just came in and took everything. Everything was just given to her. Even the training was just given to her. She had never earned anything at all whatsoever. And I'm pretty sure she has Hans Blaster as well. I'm just being sarcastic, but hey. All right, let me see. Hi, Sukori. I think I said that right. I'm not sure. And yeah, it may not be attack formation, but when you go to the Star Destroyers, they are all lined up that way as well. So we shall see. All right. And yeah, so that's the trailer for, you know, my trailer review. You know, they do say a lot on what to expect in the movie. And they show tidbits and they're supposed to hype us for the movie. And if you hear that sound, that's my computer. I have a disc stuck in it and I can't get it out. So it's crying for help. So, you know, so it tells you this tells you, gives you a glimpse on what to expect. And a lot that's shown here is a lot that was revealed through, you know, teasers, speculation, whatever you want to call them, rumors. And so we kind of know what to expect. And reviewing this trailer, I feel like there is no tie-in to the original trilogy and into the PT. I don't feel like there's any connection. And 3PO needs your help. Poor 3PO, he's getting his guts taken out of his head. He's getting his brain rearranged. If you look at that picture, let me see here. Let me see here. See right here, and here's that little space guy, that little space alien that was shown to us as well. So he's getting rewired here. So all the knowledge that he had from after he got his mind wiped after Revenge of the Sith is now probably gone as well. And so that's probably why he was saying, you know, that he wants to, you know, he's taking a look at his friends, which is still off-putting. It's still, from looking at the movies, there was really no connection. There was really nothing that was seen on screen for him to have a relationship with the three new protagonists. So who knows? All right. So I'm going to close it here. You know, let's just, There's a disc stuck in his head making noise. That's my computer. That's the disc stuck in his head making noise. Yeah. And then we have Ray right here with her. She always has a mad, mean, smuggy, yelling face on her. I have not really seen much of a smile from her, which is kind of weird since she's supposed to be training for a Jedi and supposed to have peace and, and one with the Force. So there she is. And let's go ahead and review her face. Let's have fun with this before I leave. Again, ta-da! Okay. Caption that. We have her crying here. Let's see here. Any more faces? I know there's plenty of her on here. Of course, she's fighting there, so she's going to have that gnarly face on her. And I don't know if we could see anything. So you can't really make anything of this. And she's training here, concentrating, or running, climbing. Let's see here. There's Rose Tico. Hello, Tico. Ray face review. There we go. The Mary Sue. And then right here, again, this is the classic. This is her classic face right here. This is what she's known for. Okay. Sorry. Now, mind you, this is just the judgment of the character, Ray, not the actress. Maybe she was told to make faces like this. I'm just pointing out what I've seen through all her appearances in Star Wars. Okay. See, even here, I do think she does have one smiling scene or one peaceful looking scene looking at. Let's see here. Oh, whoopsie. Where'd it go? There we go. Oh, it says no, you can't see. Okay, so yeah, it's peaceful, but there's, again, no smile. There's nothing. Magnum let's see here. So yeah, so there's no smile there. We have the crying scene. Anything else? Oh. Oh. Hey, I'm down for stoic, okay? So when I go down to powwows, I'm Native American. When I go down to powwows, I have a stoic face on me, but how? I love to smile. Right here, it looks like she's not sure of what she wants to do or what she wants to be. I don't know. It's not a convincing face to me. Zoolander, Magnum, and Blue Steel, no. So I'm familiar with Zoolander's faces. So I know what you're getting at. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah, so there's no other faces. Wait. What do we have here? Did I look at this one? Okay, it's gonna say nope. There we go. Okay. Yeah. All right, so that was a nice little review of her face, and I don't think she's anywhere else in this other than leaping, hopping, jumping. So tell me below in the comments, what do you think about the trailer? What is your take? Does it make you hyped to go see it? Does it is your curiosity to go just to see it crash and burn, if that's your theory? Are you excited? I mean, I'm not going to tease you if you really love Disney Star Wars. That's your thing. I'd rather stay with George Lucas era of Star Wars, including the original EU. However, I do love Star Wars. I always, in the beginning, I wanted to thrive under Disney because, again, like many of us, we wanted new movies. We wanted to see our heroes back on the screen. We never got that. First disappointment for me was the EU gone. Thank you, Sakori, for being here. So my first warning for me was the EU was made non-canon. And I was like, okay, let's see what's going to happen with this. Let's see which way they're going to take this. The second was not seeing Luke whatsoever towards the end, which still caught my curiosity. And then I'm like, oh, well, maybe they're going to be all together in the third one, and we're going to see Luke training his Jedi, passing the torch down, kind of mirroring the EU, like, you know, but them making it their own way of Luke mirroring the EU. And then we get Jake Skywalker. None of them are together. You know, Han gets killed in the first. Yeah. You know what? I did think about going, or at least seeing it later to analyze it and compare and contrast, because that's what my YouTube channel is about, is comparing and contrasting the original EU, the original Star Wars with the new Star Wars, and giving my perspective. And as you can tell, that's what I've been doing in this review of the trailer, is to show, you know, this is what George did. This is what George and his team did. This is the lore they came up with. They were the only franchise that never had to do a reboot until now, which was only a decision to not use it and to decanonize it. It wasn't because they needed a reboot, because it was the continuity was getting screwed up, you know? So that was a total business decision of theirs. And yeah, they can make that. They now own the property. However, they did alienate many Star Wars fans, like including myself, who has who has read the books when there was no Star Wars movies, and even between Star Wars movies. Thank you, Sakori. I'm hope I can offer you more content and more interesting content. So yeah. So like I said, I'm comparing and contrasting between both timelines. Sharing the lore. I am getting ready to launch part 2 of the Luke Skywalker then and now. And I'm hoping part 2 is a little bit more has a lot more meat in it, because Luke was really expanded in the expanded universe. And I hope I can get that out by the end of this week, or by November. Like, we're coming up in November. So hoping I can provide that so that you guys can see the difference between Luke then, which is George's EU, and now, which is the Disney's Star Wars EU, or yeah, EUN content. And like I said, if you like both Lukes, that's fine. If you like the Luke in the EU, that's fine. If you like how Luke's arc is going now, more power to you. However, I just want to give that compare and contrast, because to me, it's fun. I like to link all the continuity, and I can go on forever and ever and ever about that. All right. So I hope you liked my review here. Like, subscribe, share, you know, and share what you like about the new Disney, what you may not like. If you're going to go visit, geez, it's late. I'm tired. You know, if you're going to go watch it, why you're going to go watch it. If you're not going to go watch it, why you're not going to go watch it. Let's have that conversation in the comment sections below. So I thank you guys for coming and dropping in. I thought I was pre-recording for this to launch tomorrow morning, and I'm learning this new program. I'm very excited to be on this new program here, and I'm glad that you guys dropped in. So Sakori interpretation, I'm hoping I'm saying that right. You have a good night. Everyone else that's been in here with me, Entertainment Hacker, Ryan Kennel, you're still with us. Have a good night. And I shall catch you later. Oh, actually, catch you live chat for the morning coffee chat Thursday morning. I'm very excited for that. So we are going to talk about Kenobi, the Kenobi novel, and just maybe go over a little bit more of what's happening in the Star Wars news and politics. So have a good night.